right, so I'm going to do a very, very quick, brief overview of the body systems. We're then going to take notes on how these body systems work together. Then I'm going to explain your project that got changed up today, and then we're going to work on the project until it's time for us to leave at 1:10. We started with the skeletal system, and we said the skeletal system has 4 main functions: to protect your body organs, thank you, ma'am, to give us our shape, to work with our bones, our muscles to help us move, and to make red blood cells, which work in our cardiovascular system. We moved on from that to muscles, which seemed to make sense because the muscles work with the bones to help us move. There's 2 types of muscles, voluntary and involuntary, ones that we control, ones that we don't, and then some that kind of hang out in between there, like your breathing and blinking. Skeletal muscles are attached to your skeleton. Smooth muscles are the ones that surround the organs, especially in your digestive system, and move food through your digestive system. Cardiac muscles are those muscles inside of your heart. Muscles control movement, they generate heat, they move your skeleton, they help us maintain our posture, they protect body entrances, although that part will probably not be on there. Digestive system, this is where we went from bones as a major organ, muscles as a major organ, to here's a bunch. Teeth is where digestion starts, they break the food down into smaller pieces. When you start to smell food and eat food, your brain tells your salivary glands to release that water, those enzymes, that begin to break food down. Your tongue moves your food around while you're eating, forms this little thing called a bolus, and then it kind of dumps it like a dump truck down into our esophagus, and that's where the smooth muscles take over, and via a thing called peristalsis, squeezes those tubes all the way down to our stomach. Once it's in our stomach, smooth muscle smushes the food up into a paste inside of our stomach. Our brain tells our stomach to make acid to digest the food and kill the bacteria. In our small intestine, it gets out the nutrients, and our large intestine gets out the water, and eventually it's where the waste is removed from our body in the digestive system. We talked about the excretory system. You'll notice in a moment you do not have to put this one on your project. This is the one that removes liquid waste from your body. So your kidneys filter the waste in your blood. That goes through your ureters. You fill up your bladder. Your bladder expands and relaxes when it gets too full. You have to go pee, and then you move on and repeat that process on a daily basis as well. We moved on to the respiratory system. The respiratory system. You can tell from this picture that obviously the lungs play a major role in that, and that is very true. Our nose and mouth is where the oxygen enters and the carbon dioxide leaves. Our windpipe, that trachea, this little part here that you can kind of feel in the front of your neck, is what takes air down and into our lungs. It branches into those bronchi. It goes into our lungs, and then those branch out in these tiny little bronchioles. You don't have to remember all that. Just know that inside the lungs is where the oxygen, carbon dioxide exchange takes place. You breathe in oxygen, you breathe out carbon dioxide. The main function is to take in oxygen and release carbon dioxide. Yes, other gases come out like nitrogen, things that our body can't break down that way. We learned that back with the nitrogen cycle. Oxygen is a must. We have to have that in order to react with the sugars inside of our bodies so that our cells can break that down into energy. Very easy. We moved on from that to the circulatory / cardiovascular system. And I think we made it in this class, but if we did not, I will look at it today. Which system? Nope, that's not the right one. Let me find that question because it was a very weird question. Let me pause this. All right, never mind the sidetrack. I'll find that later and show it to you before we move on. Cardiovascular / circulatory system. Your heart is the main organ of that because it is the muscle that pumps and moves, because that's what muscles do. They move things. It moves the blood through your body. Arteries take blood away. They're oxygen rich. Veins take blood to the heart. They're oxygen depleted. Capillaries are those teeny tiny little arteries. You can actually kind of see those when you look at your eye really close. They're in the top, like the scalp of your head and other places, because you have to have those tiny arteries and veins called capillaries to move into those smaller places of your body to allow the oxygen exchange and allow the distribution of nutrients from your digestive system, and your blood carries all of that around. Remember, it's this system that is our transport system. You can digest food all day long. If you don't have the circulatory system, it can't be moved around the body. You can breathe in and breathe out all day long, but if you don't have something to move the oxygen and carbon dioxide around your body, you're not going to do very good at all. You need a transport system, and that's what this system does for us. Yesterday, we dove into the nervous system. We said there's the brain, the spinal cord, and the nerves. The brain is like the main central hub. It is the thing that tells everything what to do, and it is the thing that gets the messages and interprets those messages from the outside world. Your spinal cord is what connects the nerves, the peripheral nerves of your body, to your brain and allows those messages to be sent and received. And then your nerves, they sense things and send messages through the spinal cord to the brain, allowing you to tell your body if something's too hot to touch, or it's warm and you can actually sit there without burning yourself on a slide, or the slide is too hot because of the sun and radiation. Your nervous system controls your whole body. You have messages from the brain to the nerves through the spinal cord. You have messages from the nerves back to the brain from the spinal cord. You have voluntary and involuntary muscles controlled through here. You send and receive messages to and from the body, and you regulate body temperature. And that brings us to, how do these two systems work together? And we're starting with the easiest one. Skeletal system, muscular system. How do they work together? Well, I'm going to show you the first one, and then we'll work on the rest of these after that. How do they work together? Well, they help us move. Duh. Bones help you move. Muscles help you move. Together, shocking, they help you move. They give us our posture. Your muscles without the bones would not be able to have the ability to stand up straight, to sit up straight. Your bones without your muscles would not be able to stand up straight or sit up straight by themselves. They work together to give you your posture. In a lot of the ways, they do kind of give us our shape. It's probably more our bones that do that because that's important. Your bones protect certain muscles, especially your heart. Your diaphragm a little bit, and that is right under your ribs. You can get hit there, and it causes those spasms in the diaphragm when you get the wind knocked out of you that we talked about, and it's really hard to breathe, and you're trying to breathe, but your diaphragm is for that little bit is paralyzed. Eventually, your other organs your other muscles will take over for your lungs and let you breathe in and out, and eventually your diaphragm will kick back in. But that is a very scary, tense 30 seconds when you get hit really hard and have the breath knocked out of you, and we've all been there and done that. So I'll let you jot down these notes. Now, before I pull the slide down to show you the answers, I want you to stop and think for a few minutes. How do the circulatory system and the skeletal system help each other? How do they work together? What things do they accomplish together or they help each other with? Gabby, what's one? The bones make the red blood cells and the white blood cells that move through the circulatory system. Very good. Anna? The bones protect the heart, the main organ of the circulatory system. You are correct. Grace? The bones do help us, Grayson, to stand up straight, but we're talking about how do they work with the circulatory system. What do they do together? I know they make the red blood cells. That's important. They protect the heart. That's important. Does the circulatory system do anything for the bones? You have to think about what the circulatory system does. It transports things around the body. Is there anything that the blood transports that the bones might need? Put your hands down. Let her think. This is how we grow our brain. In order for you to grow, your body needs oxygen and nutrients. The circulatory system takes those things to the bones. Here you go, bones. Here's some nutrients. Here's some oxygen. Make some energy. Grow, repair, and do your thing, right? So that's exactly how they work together. So if we scroll down, bones make red blood cells that the circulatory system needs. You said that. Circulatory system takes the things, which is what you just said, nutrients and oxygen to the bones, and it removes the waste. Bones protect the heart, which is everything that we just said together as a class. All right. So now I know that the muscular system and the digestive system have to pair up to work with each other. They do things for each other, and they do things kind of within each other's system. How do the digestive system and the muscular system pair up to do things for and with each other? Walker.
Like it takes muscles, like for like the food to get down to the digestive system.
Smooth muscles move the food through my digestive system. You are correct. What else do those two systems do with or for each other, Gabby? Your digestive system makes the nutrients that every other system needs. The skeletal system needs it. The muscular system needs it. The digestive system needs nutrients. The respiratory system needs nutrients. The nervous system needs nutrients. The circulatory system needs nutrients from the digest. So that is most definitely correct. What else do they do for each other?
So the muscles help move stuff, and whenever you start breaking stuff down, which starts with your jaw,
Yep.
you have to move your jaw up and down.
You have to chew in order to break food down. Let's see what our notes were from the first class. Digestive system breaks down food into nutrients that the muscles need. Shocker, that's the first one that was said. Smooth muscles move food through, which is the second thing we said. And jaw muscles chew, the tongue moves food to the esophagus. All things that they do for each other. Let's take a look at our next pairing. Digestive system, nervous system. Rachel, how do these two systems pair together to work up to do things for and with each other? The nervous system, the brain, tells the stomach by how much the stomach is stretching, how much acid to produce to break down the food. You're correct. How else do they work together, Nigel? The digestive system gives the nervous system the nutrients it needs to function. Yep. Anybody else?
The nervous system says to the digestive system, okay, it's time to go to the bathroom.
It does let you know when it's time to go to the bathroom. Absolutely. Whoops, I went to the wrong one. And then move down. The nervous system, because you tell it to, tells your mouth to chew. It tells your salivary glands to start working. Tells your smooth muscles, which are involuntary, by the way, to move food through. It tells your stomach to make acid. It tells you when you're hungry. It tells you when you're full. It tells you when you need to use the bathroom. You are correct. Your digestive system, notice I started abbreviating there. I got tired of writing digestive system over and over, so I have DIGSYS. That's the digestive system. Abbreviating is going to be a key thing you need to learn how to do when you're taking notes in school. Digestive system gets the nutrients the nervous system needs to grow and repair. We have the respiratory system and we have the muscular system. How do these two systems work together, or what do they do for each other to help the body function? So again, the muscles, the diaphragm in particular, although again, when you get the wind knocked out of you, other muscles will take over for just a moment. But your diaphragm is the main thing that flexes and relaxes, which is pulling air into the lungs and pushing air out of the lungs. The lungs get the oxygen that your muscles need, and it gets rid of the carbon dioxide waste that muscles and other cells in your bodies creates. How do the respiratory system, breathing in and out, works with the circulatory system, that transport system we have in our body? The respiratory system, notice I'm abbreviating again, the respiratory system takes in oxygen and releases carbon dioxide. The circulatory system moves that oxygen through the blood and takes the carbon dioxide back to the lungs to be released. Last one, and for the essence of time, I'm going to take care of the circulatory / muscular in the muscular system. How do they work together? What do they do for each other? Here are your notes. The circulatory system takes the nutrients, takes the oxygen to the muscles that they need, and it takes waste away. The muscular system, via the heart, moves the blood through the circulatory system. That's how these two things pair together. And for Hunter, smash the like button and subscribe. Click the bell for notifications. The end.